Hello everyone, welcome to the Play on GAA live stream for Dublin versus Kerry in the All-Ireland Football semi-final of 2022. I cannot wait for this game. This game is going to be an absolute cracker. When you think about the last few championship games between these two sides, 2019, that draw in the All-Ireland final, the drama at the end. Then of course you had the replay on Merchant's goal. Then as well on top of that, 2016, that All-Ireland semi-final with Kerry rattling Dublin in the first half, really had them on the ropes. And then Dublin fought back in the second half. 2013, probably in my opinion, the best game of Gaelic football that I've seen. Colin Cooper giving a masterclass in the first half. Dublin fighting back in the second half and getting the victory. 2011, that final where Dublin managed to kind of just bring an end to the famine. 2009, Kerry's quarter-final victory. This game always delivers. It always delivers. The league matches as well are always epic. They're always right down to the wire. These two sides have been over the last few years as evenly matched as teams can get. As a Dublin fan, I cannot wait for this game. I cannot wait for this game. I mean, you're talking Kerry on the flip side. What have Kerry done well so far this year? We'll go through quickly what I think the strengths, weaknesses of both these sides are. Of course, Kerry have massively tightened up at the back this year. They have not conceded a goal from play in 2022, apart from Darren McCurry scoring that one. Of course, GA Stats Point supplying that stat, but that's an amazing stat when you talk about how solid they've been at the back. Jason Foley at fullback has improved massively. I would have said Dylan Casey should have come in there from Austin Stacks, but Foley has been really, really good. Tyg Morley at centre half back has been excellent as well. And just the system that they've put in. There was a lot of talk about Donny Buckley leaving, but Paddy Tally's come in along with Jack O'Connor and Micheál Quirk, and they've really tightened up at the back. Going forward, they're as good as they've ever been. David Clifford, Paddy Clifford, Sean O'Shea, Paul Gainey this year is playing as good football as I've ever seen him play. They just look ready for this. Dublin on the flip side, had a terrible end to the championship last year, knocked out by Mayo, had a terrible league campaign. But since then, we've absolutely bounced back, dominated Wexford, dominated Kildare, dominated Meath, and then beat Cork pretty comfortably. Here are the teams. Evan Comerford in goal for Dublin, Owen Merchant, Mick Fitzsimons and Lee Gannon full back line, John Small, Johnny Cooper and Sean Bugler half back line. I doubt he'll play there though. Brian Fenton and Tom Lahiff in midfield, James McCarthy, Brian Howard, Kieran Kilkenny half forward line, Cormac Costello, Dean Rock and Lorcan O'Dell in the full forward line. Lorcan O'Dell coming in for Paddy Small. What I think is going to happen is I think James McCarthy will go into the half back line and Sean Bugler will go to the half forward line. On the bench, David O'Hanlon, Niall Scully, Paddy Small, Ryan Basquel, Aaron Byrne, David Byrne, Sean McMahon, Ross McGarry, Andrew McGowan, Keane Murphy and Owen O'Donnell, the former Dublin hurling captain. This is going to be one hell of a game, guys. I can't wait for it. Dublin look good. I wonder about O'Dell. I mean, like he's a young lad, 21 years of age. This is a massive stage coming on, but I wish him the best. Here's Kerry's team. Shane Ryan in goal, Graham O'Sullivan, Jason Foley and Tom O'Sullivan, the full-back line. Brino Bjoglik, Tyg Morley and Gavin White, the half-back line. David Moran and Dermot O'Connor midfield. Jack Barry brought in for Darragh Moynihan in the half-forward line with Sean O'Shea and Stephen O'Brien. Paddy Clifford, David Clifford and Paul Gainey full-forward line. Jack Barry will no doubt go into midfield, swapping with Dermot O'Connor, and he'll go straight onto Brian Fenton. Mark my words that is exactly why Jack Barry was brought in. On the bench, Shane Murphy, Darragh Moynihan, Tony Brosnan, Killian Spillane, Paul Murphy, Micheál Burns, Joe O'Connor, Jack Savage, Gavin Crowley, Jack O'Shea, and Adrian Spillane. Jack O'Connor, in every year that he's been Kerry manager, that he has won the league, he has gone on to win the All-Ireland Championship. So this is the acid test for Kerry. This is the absolute litmus test for them. They have been solid at the back. They have been really good. They have shown time and time again that they are not bothered and that the defence is solid this year. But Dublin is a different test. Dublin is a really different test. They can hit them in different ways than Cork, Limerick can hit them. And Kerry haven't really been tested now in a long time because Mayo rolled over for them in the quarterfinal. Mayo rolled over for them in the league final. Kerry's last test would have been in the normal rounds of the Allianz League. So this game, is a different kettle of fish than anything that either side has experienced in the championship so far, because Dublin have had it dead easy as well. In my preview, I don't know if you saw it, I don't know if you watched it, but in my preview, I was saying that, look, I think O'Callaghan missing for Dublin, Con O'Callaghan, is massive. Con O'Callaghan being missing is just huge, because he is the absolute beating heart, and has been the beating heart of Dublin's attack over the last few years. He's the focal point. He's the absolute rock that the rest of the Dublin forwards move around, and him not being there is massive, because then I can see like a Kieran Kilkenny going into full forward, and that takes him away from the rest of the play. And then on the flip side, Kerry's worries about David Clifford and his fitness, and he clearly wasn't comfortable around in the All-Ireland quarterfinal against Mayo, but he's come back and he looks like he's back at full fitness. On the flip side as well, Sean O'Shea is there too. Sean O'Shea has been fantastic all throughout the championship. His frees, if Dublin fell, Kerry score. Sean O'Shea scores every free that he takes. Interestingly enough, Shane Ryan has been really solid in goal. Kerry had this problem with chopping and changing goalkeepers over the last few years. They've had Brendan Keeley, Brian Kelly, Shane Murphy, Shane Ryan. This year, they've really... Jack O'Connor's backed Shane Ryan, and it's interesting because out of all the goalkeepers Kerry have, Shane Ryan is the most similar to Diarmuid Murphy, the Kerry goalkeeper back in the 2000s when Jack O'Connor would have been Kerry manager back then. Diarmuid Murphy, tall, powerful. That's very similar to Shane Ryan, and just a boomer of a kick out on him. And do you know what? He nailed a 45 in the game against Mayo in the league final, and that was in a perfect performance for Kerry. So he can kick frees as well. I think on the flip side with Dublin, Comerford, like obviously Mick Shield the two of them have been rotating. Comerford, funnily enough, hasn't been as backed for Dublin as Shane Ryan has been backed for Kerry. It's been more of a case of they went with Shield and they went with Comerford, then they went with Shield and Comerford. Stephen Cluxton hasn't even officially retired yet. I think we all know he's gone, but there's more assurance about the Kerry goalkeeper than there is about the Dublin goalkeeper. I think as well, Kieran Kilkenny, they're just talking about him here on RTE. He is huge. This is probably going to have to be one of the best performances of Kieran Kilkenny's life, because with Con O'Callaghan gone, Kieran Kilkenny is going to have to become the absolute focal point of the attack. There's no Con O'Callaghan, there's no Paul Mannion, Paddy Small taken out as well for Lorcan O'Dell, who is very pacey and very, very talented, but he's very young and he's very inexperienced, and this will be the first time he's ever played in a semi-final. So Kieran Kilkenny needs to provide the leadership, needs to provide, the outball, and needs to be a captain in that Dublin forward line, especially when you think that he might be being picked up by a Tom O'Sullivan or by someone that can really stick tight to him. How Dublin go about Tadhg Morley, I think, is very interesting, because obviously on the flip side, Dublin have been playing Johnny Cooper as their sweeper, as their man to play as the extra defender. So I think it is very interesting to see how it matches up. They're about to go for the pre-match parade, walking around the stadium. This stadium is packed. It looks like every single seat has been taken up. This is going to be one hell of a game. I can feel it. It's going to be one of the games of the decade for sure. It's going to be an epic. Kerry are coming in exactly in the right place, I think. I've said Kerry narrowly. I have, but my heart is saying Dublin. I just feel like there's a big game in Dublin here, and I hope we can do it. I hope we can do it. Up the Dubs. Let's see what happens here. They're doing the parade. God, the hill is packed, and this is another thing. I was just out there recently. It is roasting. The temperature is so hot. The weather, the sun is absolutely splitting the pitch. It's going to be baking hot. And this is what I mean. Will the likes of David Moran be able to last 70 minutes in those conditions? James Mccarthy, if his fitness isn't 100%, will he be able to last 70 minutes in really the cauldron of Croke Park there? I mean, it'll be massive. Who picks up who is going to be so fascinating. Obviously, we know Jack Barry is going to go on to Brian Fenton. Who picks up David Clifford? I think that'll be Mick Fitzsimons. I think Lee Gannon will go on Paddy Clifford. But, this is going to be one hell of a game. And if you're with me to watch it, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here on Play on GAA. And let's enjoy this game. It's going to be one hell of a game. Looking through the comments here, I have a comment here from GAA Show Podcast. Best of luck with the live stream. Thank you very much. Done some work with the GAA Show Podcast before. I don't know if last week you saw, but I was on there with Jerry McCarthy, David Byrne, and Matt Hurley, the GAA Statsman. And great people to work with. Thanks very, very much for that comment. My first time doing a live stream, and I am buzzing for this. What a game to get. I can't wait. God, it's buzzing there. They're absolutely buzzing. I think the first 10 minutes are just going to be fascinating, because if one team can get a goal in the first 10 minutes, I feel like the momentum and the momentum and the crowd will get involved. The boost that they will get if they manage to get an early goal will be worth way more than 3 points. God, there's flares and all in the hill. This is going to be one hell of a game. I was at the 2015 All-Ireland final between Dublin and Kerry there on the hill. Atmospheres on the hill for Dublin-Kerry matches are just their next level. I mean, the rivalry, this is Gaelic football's equivalent of El Clasico. These are the Real Madrid and Barcelona. These are the two best. They've won the most All-Irelands. It's city versus country. It's got everything you would want for a rivalry. And God, the scenery there is just mad. Like what we've come through, the pandemic and having to have 2020, the no crowd at the matches and all, now to a packed out, sold out Croke Park. This is going to be one hell of a game. If you're watching, get involved in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win this game, Dublin or Kerry? And why do you think they're going to win this game? Just pop it in the comments. Get involved in the discussion during the game. And I will get through as many comments as I can on this. This is going to be one hell of a game. There's blue flares, there's green flares, there's gold flares being set off all around the stadium. It looks epic. It really, really does. The pitch is in great nick. It's beautiful weather. Just everything's perfect. Everything's revved up, ready to go. Who are we saying? I am going to overrule my head. I'm going to go with Dublin to win this. I think Kerry actually do have the advantage here. Conor O'Callaghan being injured, Kerry are coming in as league champions, Munster champions. They've been untouched throughout the entire year, apart from the draw with Kildare and the losing to Tyrone in the league. Apart from that, they've been flawless. They've only conceded one goal from play, and that was to Darren McCurry of Tyrone. They have been excellent. Dublin have been shown to be vulnerable this year, particularly in the Armagh game. Armagh exposed how you can get at Dublin with the quick, long, early ball into the forward line. And Kerry definitely, I think, should take a page out of that book. Hit quick early ball into Paddy Clifford, Paul Ganey and David Clifford. Hit the Dublin defence early and knock them off their stride. Put up the pressure on the likes of Gannon, who it is his first semi-final. He will be picking up Paddy Clifford, who has played in it last year. It's just, the first 15 minutes of this are going to be a whirlwind. Here we go. Kerry have pulled out of the parade. Dublin now have pulled out of the parade. Kerry are shooting down into the Davin stand, it would appear. David Clifford is jogging down that way. I'm saying Dublin. I'm overruling what I said in the prediction. My heart is overruling my head. I'm going Dublin. Dublin fan is coming out with me. I think they're going to win. They're doing the huddle now, the teams. So sorry, I got it wrong. Dublin are actually shooting down to the Davin stand in the first half. Kerry are shooting up to Hill 16, which means that Dublin will be shooting to Hill 16 in the second half, which could set us up for a grand stand finish. I mean, whenever Dublin are shooting into the hill in the last few minutes of a game, it's always set up to be epic. Who are we saying? If there's anyone there watching, who are we saying? Dublin or Kerry? Put it in the comments and I will get involved in the discussion with you. Kerry, this is their time. As Johnny Mack said on the podcast, stand up or shut up, because we've been hearing so much for the last few years about how good this team is, how they're destined to win all these All-Irelands. This is the time now for them to break through. Everything is perfect. There's no excuses. They have everyone available, everyone fit. This is the time. And one of the things that scares me about this Dublin team is Dublin won 6 in a row off the back of a minor crop that had only won 1 All-Ireland. Kerry's minors won 5 All-Ireland titles in a row. So if you're talking about the pedigree and who's coming through, and Kerry have a lot of lads coming through. You're talking Paul O'Shea, Paul Walsh, don't get game time. Anyway, now it's Aaron Levine. God. My God, you can hear how loud it is at the stadium. The atmosphere there looks incredible. Kerry as well, they have taken over a part of the hill. I mean, they always do that. The times that I was there, 2013, 2016, 2015 in that final, Kerry always came up to the hill and brought a big group with them. So, like, that would be interesting when the Kerry are shooting into that end in the first half. Here we go. Lahif has gone to midfield. Jack Barry predictably has gone to midfield straight onto Brian Fenton. Tom Lahif is going up against David Mcmahon, who I'll be keeping a close eye on to see if he'll be able to last the full 70 minutes. And it's began already. Brino Bjuglik and Brian Howard. Brino Bjuglik's on the bench. And here we go. Dublin versus Kerry in the All-Ireland semi-final 2022. David Moran on the ball, kicking a sharp one down. Out comes Owen Merchant, who's picking up Paul Gainey. Now Brian Fenton. Kicking it across here to Kieran Kilkenny. He's being picked up by Tyg Morley early. Interesting that Morley isn't sticking in the sweeper role. Here's John Small. Back to Kilkenny. He's sitting deep to start off the game, which switches the play now across to Lee Gannon here. No, sorry, it's Owen Merchant. Merchant will be expected to get forward a lot now. I don't suspect he will stick on Paul Gainey. Nice swivel there by James McCarthy. Of course, not listed to start, but he's in now. Dishes it off to Dean Rock. Flicks it back out to Owen Merchant. Back to Lorcan O'Dell. Late inclusion. Switches it to Johnny Cooper. Be interesting to see will he play as the +1 at the back again to Lee Gannon. He's popped up for a couple of points now in his last few games. To John Small. Ballymun Kickham's to the Whitehall Colin Killman. Lee Gannon gets his shot off and he's nailed it. Brilliant score by Lee Gannon. What a start to his inter-county career. Dublin into the lead. Lee Gannon swiveled onto the right foot. Paddy Clifford couldn't block him down. Dublin into the lead. Shane Ryan out to Tom O'Sullivan here for Kerry. O'Sullivan he's Kerry's 5th top scorer in the championship. He's got 6 points so far. David Moran on the ball for Kerry. Lovely pass down to Sean O'Shea, who knocks it into the path here of Sean O'Shea. Sorry, that wasn't O'Shea who gave the kick pass, but O'Shea swings it onto his left foot and over the bar. Kerry equalise. It was a lovely pass down to him. I think it was from Dermot O'Connor. That was my bad. Now, can Dublin respond to that? 1 point each here. 2 minutes gone. Tom Lahif, of course, plays wing back for Judes. It's an interesting one that he plays midfield for Dublin. Inside now, as far as Brian Fenton got away from Jack Barry. And Brian Fenton has put it wide. He got it onto his left foot. He got away from Jack Barry. I mean, he won't get away from Jack Barry much. Oof. Bruno Bjugli playing with fire. Gets away with it. No, he gives the ball straight to Sean Bugler. Kieran Kilkenny on the left foot. Oh, that's a bad miss by Kieran Kilkenny. Bruno Bjugli, very, very lucky because he messed up the pickup there twice and then he gave the ball straight to Sean Bugler, worked it to Kilkenny. Kilkenny put far too much spin on it. It looked good and then it curled away from the far post. Brian Howard breaks it, but only to David Moran. Of course, only came back in for the Mayo game. Floats that one in, and it's driven through here. Sean O'Shea. O'Shea, left there. Sean O'Shea, goal Kerry. Terrible defending by Dublin. I'm sorry. Terrible defending. Whoever that defender was, we'll see now. But someone just did not pick up Sean O'Shea. I think it was Merchant, just did not cover the space that was available for the goal. Sean O'Shea there clearly had a look. Merchant pulled out. O'Shea pulled it back in and then stuck it in the back of the net. You cannot let O'Shea have a look at the goal. Let him have the point in that situation. Bad start for Dublin, especially after Kilkenny missed that shot. It's not good. We need to respond to this now. 4 minutes gone. Lehif on the ball here. We'll see a replay of that, and I'll make sure that I got the right defender. I think it was Merchant. He just pulled out, and O'Shea got a chance. He looked like he was going to give it back. Merchant predicted that, went out. Then O'Shea was like, all right, cool, I'll just go for the goal then. And he slid it home. 1-1 to 1 point in favour of Kerry. And what I was mentioning before the game was about how important a goal could be at the start of this game. And now it's a free to Dublin here, James Mccarthy. And this would be important so that Dublin can get another point on the board, settle down. Dean Rock now. Come on, Dean. Over the bar. No problem to you. It's actually a harder kick for a right footer than you would think, because you have to draw it in. And when you're kicking from the other side as a right footer, you can kind of swing it and curl it in. But this one, it's more suited to a left footer. I'm backing him to get it. I'm definitely backing him to get it. Come on, Dean. Got it. And that's important, like, for a free taker to get the first one, to nail the first one. That's important. This is it here. Yeah. Very good finish by O'Shea. It's hard to tell from that replay. The sun is shining down. I think, yeah, it was Merchant. It was just there. It was that instant where he looked and Merchant guessed. Wait here, Lehif, great block down. Great block down there by Gavin White. Lehif forced back out by Gavin White. He's a very, very good defender for Kerry and Dr. Crokes. Now Mccarthy burning down the right wing. Go on, James. McCarthy saved by Shane Ryan. Out as far as Kieran Kilkenny now in the D. He has it on the left if he wants it. He gives it to Sean Bugler. Back to Brian Howard. This is going to be a shot for a point. The Hill love it. Brian Howard scores. Dublin have responded well to that goal. We're playing better now. That's 2 attacks after Kerry's goal, 2 points. It was good. James McCarthy had that goal chance well stopped by Shane Ryan and then swung over the bar by Brian Howard. Well done. Shane Ryan's kick out now out to David Moran, fouled by Cormac Costello. Moran does that Bernard Brogan thing where he wears the socks up always. I know it's his look, but the heat there today, like the absolute temperature, I mean, he must be sweating. And the referee has given a free inside foul by John Small on Sean O'Shea. I think he was holding him off the ball. That's silly. I mean, this is David Clifford territory now. He's not going to miss this. And then Kerry go back 2 points in front. And Kerry haven't really had too many attacks. So for them to be leading this game by 2 points at this stage is massive. This is a very similar position actually to the one that he hit in that league game in 2020. Do you remember that one that ended a draw? He's nailed it. He didn't make it as dramatic this time. In that league game, he kicked it up into the clouds and it landed over the bar. This one, he just tapped it over. Evan Comerford, of course, not a great start for him conceding that early goal, but wasn't his fault, obviously. Oh, he's messed up about that kick out. He's gone long instead, out to the sideline. 2-on-1 there, Kerry ball. They're never going to happen. Once he hesitated, then Kerry knew they had him on the ropes and he had to go long. Kerry sideline here. David Moran with the long socks up. Sean O'Shea. Lovely. Dermot O'Connor burning through Lorcan O'Dell. Off to Paddy Clifford. Got away from Lee Gannon for a second. Tom O'Sullivan, 6 points in the championship so far. Trying to get it on his left. He does. The Kerry fans love it. O'Sullivan has his 7th point in the championship to this point. Lovely score by Tom O'Sullivan. He looked like he wanted to get it on his left. And he managed to eventually. I mean, there's a window there for Dublin. Push him onto his right foot because he clearly there wanted to get it on his left. Lehif should have stood him up, pushed him onto the right. I know, easier said than done. But he looks like a very left-footed player there. I mean, he's probably a class player off both feet, but he was clearly wanting to get that one on the left. David Clifford has just got a yellow card. I don't really know why. We're going to take a look at it here. Free kick here, James McCarthy, the Dublin captain for 2022. Of course, him and Con O'Callaghan were all the talk during the week. Of course, Con isn't starting if you've just joined us. James McCarthy is, though. He came in place of, I believe it was Niall Scully. McCarthy's booted this one forward, but to no one. Picked up by Tom O'Sullivan. Out now to Paul Gainey for Kerry. Back. And Kerry playing around with it at the back here. Tyg Morley gives it to Jason Foley. Dublin are dropping off Kerry a lot here. They're letting them kind of play around with it at the back. Paddy Clifford on it. Dublin aren't going as adventurous as I thought they would. I thought they'd be pushing up, trying to occupy Morley. It's playing out a bit more tentative than I thought it would. Here's David Moran on the ball. Dummy solo. Lays it off now to Sean O'Shea. Diarmuid O'Connor on the ball for Kerry. David Clifford. And David Moran. Great block down by Tom Lahiff. And now Owen Merchant. And can Dublin hit Kerry on the break a bit here? Cormac Costello. Into Dean Rock. Gives it back to Owen Merchant. The pace that this man has. Remember his goal in the 2019 final. Back as far as Dean Rock again. Merchant to Lorcan O'Dell. This man has pace. O'Dell back as far as Sean Bugler. Switches the play to Tom Lahiff. Lahiff has it on the left. He doesn't want it. Gives it off to a shooter. Kieran Kilkenny missed his first one. Gives it back out now as far as Brian Howard. He scored his first one. Lovely footwork by Howard. Thought about the shot. Didn't do it. James McCarthy. Dublin being patient here. Kerry have dropped into their shell. Johnny Cooper on the ball. The Nafina man. Of course, works at DCU. Johnny Cooper here. To McCarthy. Out as far as Kieran Kilkenny. He can get this in on his right foot. He goes low along the ground to Sean Bugler. Back to Kilkenny. Doubled up on. Brilliant defending by Kerry. They're not breaking. Dublin are trying to squeeze them in. Kerry are doing very, very well at holding their shape. Back out to Lorcan O'Dell. Switches it into the middle. There's a shot on here for Brian Howard. He can definitely convert these. Lovely skill. Lovely sidestep by Brian Howard, but he's put it wide. And all that attack ends in nothing. And Tom O'Sullivan immediately gets into him. Brian Howard has been just started on about 5 times so far by Kerry players. Shane Ron on the ball now for Kerry. Goal kick. Lovely kick out. Gavin White catches to Tom O'Sullivan. Then moves into Paul Gainey. Lovely ball by Gainey inside as far as Sean O'Shea. John Small with him. O'Shea to David Clifford. David Clifford loses his man onto the right boot. You know the rest. Kerry have another point. Kerry are being more efficient with their attacks now than Dublin are. Dublin have missed a few chances. Kerry aren't missing their chances. David Clifford, lovely shimmy to lose Fitzsimons onto the right foot over the bar. He doesn't miss them and he looks back to full fitness. Against Mayo, he kind of looked like he was a bit uncomfortable, especially that misstep that he took where he kind of stood on the ball, but he looks good today. He looks back to his best. Tom Lahiff on the ball now for Dublin. Gives it across to the Temple Oak youngster, Lorcan O'Dell. Johnny Cooper. Lovely change of direction. Back to O'Dell. Tyg Morley in front of O'Dell. I wonder if that's a matchup. Sean Bugler trying to take on Gavin White does well. Kieran Kilkenny back to Bugler. He's got chance here. And he's clipped it over the bar. There was a potential goal on there for Dublin, I thought, if Bugler had to put the head down and went for it a bit more. Probably sensible enough to take the point. Get something out of the attack. But maybe, Kerry have that goal. 13 minutes gone now. Tom O'Sullivan coming down the line. 1-4 to Kerry, 4 points to Dublin. It has been very even so far in terms of attacks. I just wonder if Con O'Callaghan was on this pitch, what difference would he make? I mean, obviously no excuses. Dublin have a good enough team to get the job done. That has hit the referee, Stephen O'Brien, kicking the ball off the referee. He's called for the ball to come back to him. And he's going to do a throw up. I mean, that's a bit funny. Stephen O'Brien was trying to kick the ball into Paul Gainey. He hits the ref in the back of the head. And a throw up is called between Fenton and Moran. Brian Fenton knocks it down. Dublin win the ball. And that's something that, if Dublin gets something out of this attack, Johnny Cooper now comes forward. Kick down to Kieran Kilkenny. Questionable challenge there by Jason Foley. Referee allows it. Kilkenny on Foley. Back as far as Sean Bugler here from Oliver Plunkett's own Rua. Into the middle for John Small. Off to Cormac Costello. He has it on his left. He can score this. He's missed it. Another wide for Dublin. And it's been pretty poor. They're shooting in the first half. Tom O'Sullivan getting into him again. I mean, he's a good man for that. He's like the new Ryan McMahon. Getting into everyone as soon as they miss. Here comes Shane Ryan's kick out now. So far, Ryan's kickouts have been excellent. How's this one? Commentators curse. Yep, Dublin win it. Oh. It's a free to Dublin here. Brian Howard fouled as he caught that kick out. I prefer now the way that they're playing Howard. I didn't like him, playing at wing back and stuff like that. I think he offers so much around the middle for Dublin, around midfield, half forward. I think he's so dangerous. That point he kicked, evidence of the ability that he has. He switches it now out to Johnny Cooper. Back into the middle as far as Sean Bugler. He's been on the ball a lot. Lorcan O'Dell, the same. O'Dell carries it into the middle. Back as far now as Lee Gannon here. Takes off forward. He's already scored 2 points in the last 2 games. And that's a clenched fist tackle by Tom Lahiff. He's going to get in trouble for that. Referee plays advantage. Bit silly from Lahiff. I mean, that was straight in front of the referee. I wonder if he saw it. It looked like a clenched fist tackle. First time seeing it from Lahiff. Out to David Moran here for Kerry. Moran is absolutely huge. I think he's like 6'5" or something, but you wonder how players managed to stop him going up for the ball. I suppose Fenton's probably 6'5" himself as well. Thomas Sullivan on the ball for Kerry now. Slowing it right down. It's been a very, very fast, ferocious start from the teams. Jack Barry on the ball now for Kerry. He's done a good job on Fenton so far. Fenton's only got one shot off that was off his left foot and it went wide. Back now as far as Stephen O'Brien. He's got great pace. Ball inside. Well done on Merchant. Brian Howard coming out with the ball now for Dublin. They stopped that Kerry attack. Lovely skill by Howard. Howard's footwork is the best I think I've ever seen. I really do. Like, in terms of being able to just lose a player, he's right up there with the best I've seen. O'Dell on the ball now for Dublin. He can shoot from here. He doesn't. Off to Lahiff. Of course, still hasn't got called for the referee for that earlier foul that the ref played advantage for. Kieran Kilkenny on the ball now for Dublin. O'Sullivan follows him everywhere he goes. Lahiff back as far as Sean Bugler. Switches the play now. Lovely ball by Bugler. 7 on his back, but he's not playing at wing back. Switched again by Brian Howard to John Small. He can have a go from here. On his left foot, he does shoot. And he nails it. John Small, he scored a goal against Kildare. He's well capable of coming up and scoring. And he scores off his weaker left foot. Dublin now are 2 points behind Kerry. And you know what? I'd probably take that considering that Kerry got that early goal. We've recovered quite well from that. When that goal went in, I was genuinely fearing the worst. It was 1-1 to 1 point at that stage. I feel like we recovered well. On the ball here now is Jason Foley for Kerry. Lovely pass by Foley. He is a really good footballer. Paddy Clifford taking on Mick Fitzsimons, who's picking him up now. It was Lee Gannon on him. Now Fitzsimons. Dermot O'Connor for Kerry. Into the corner for David Clifford. If Dublin can keep him there, they'll be happy days. Lee Gannon on him this time. Clifford back out as far as Paul Gainey. He was excellent against Mayo. Gainey cracks it with the left. It's curling, but not enough. Wide ball by Paul Gainey. That's Kerry's first wide, Jer Cannon has just said. I mean, that's unbelievable efficiency by Kerry. I mean, to go the first 17 minutes and every shot you take, you get something out of it. That's just brilliant. Dublin have hit a few wides. That could be crucial. Tom Lahiff on the ball for Dublin now to Lorcan O'Dell, being picked up by Brino Bjugli. Johnny Cooper for Dublin to Brian Fenton. Where he goes, Jack Barry goes. Lahiff didn't get anything for that clenched fist tackle, actually, by the way, Tom Lahiff. It looked like it. Maybe on another angle, I might see that it wasn't. Gannon Taken off him. Messed up the shoulder. That is a foul. No, it's not. Referee plays advantage. Graham O'Sullivan picks it up for Kerry. Goes long, goes direct. Kerry had success with this in 2019. Clifford has got it, and he claims the mark. That very, very similar to where they got the actual penalty from. I can already change the score because David Clifford's not going to miss this. But that reminded me a lot of the 2019, which led to the actual penalty where Johnny Cooper was holding Clifford. And sure enough, Clifford has nailed that free. But that is a window there for Kerry. That direct long ball. Fitzsimons against Clifford. Clifford held him off, caught it very, very well. He's a big man now, David Clifford. He's filled out. And he's about what? He's about 6'2", 6'3". Good target man in there for Kerry to have. Dublin playing it around the back here now. Lee Gannon skipping down the left side of Croke Park into the centre as far as Sean Bugler here for Dublin. Challenged by David Clifford, but Bugler skips past him. Bugler out as far as Tom Lahiff. Dodgy solo, got away with it. That looked like a potential foul. Referee doesn't give it. Back out to Sean Bugler. Dodgy hand pass, turnover. Kerry turn Dublin over again. And they're breaking quickly here. Space here for Paudie Clifford. He's great at moving the ball on. Gets it on his left foot. Lays it off as far as David Clifford, the brother. Clifford has it on his left foot. And you know the rest. Another point for Kerry. 1-6 to 5 points. Kerry move 4 points in front again. And so far, they are doing exactly what people would have expected them to do. They're being more efficient with their attacks than Dublin are. Their attack is performing better. They're making Dublin pay for their mistakes. That was a turnover there. A bad hand pass by Sean Bugler. Turned over by Kerry. Right down the other end. Lovely point. And he is going back now, I think, to Tom Lahiff. No, it's John Small. Yellow. It's a black card for John Small. Black card for John Small. Wow. I didn't see that. 21 minutes gone. Kerry are 4 points up and Dublin are a man down for 10 minutes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Stonewall black card. Just pulls down. I think it was Stephen O'Brien. So stupid. Why would you do that? He's a fantastic, fantastic footballer. He'd already scored a point, but that's to the letter of the law. That is exactly what the black card was brought in for. He just pulled him down. Yep, can't argue with that. Dublin down to 14 men. 21 and a half minutes gone. Brian Fenton kicks it across to Brian Howard here underneath the Hogan stand. Into the centre now as far as Brian Fenton. Trying to get away from the Kerry defenders. Back as far as his club mate Brian Howard. Both of them, of course, playing with Raheny in North Dublin. Howard back as far as Owen Merchant. Cross to Lee Gannon here. Of course, he kicked that opening point of the day. Great score that was off his right boot. Gannon is playing a lot forward there on the left-hand side, keeping Clifford occupied. Lorcan O'Dell goes all the way back. Dublin hanging onto the ball a lot here. Not really penetrating Kerry much here. But Brian Howard is the man to do that. He skips forward and the referee has given a free. Very similar to what he did against Dublin. He's penalised here for holding off the ball. It's a Dublin free. At least he's being consistent. You can't really argue with that. And that is easy pickings now for Dean Rock. He's not going to miss this. I have to give credit to the referee because he gave one to Kerry for holding off the ball. He's giving one to Dublin for holding off the ball. And hopefully that stamps out this being a feature of the game because, you know, in semi-finals, referees do tend to kind of let the game flow. I'm already saying that Dean Rock is going to score this, by the way. Yeah, over the bar. No problem to Dean Rock. Ballymun Kickham's, of course, son of Barney Rock, who won the All-Ireland in 1983. Yeah, they're holding off the ball by Tyg Morley. Paddy Nealon, of course, is the referee today. I think he's having a very, very good game so far. I can't really argue with any decision that he's made. 2 minutes now into the black card time that John Small is serving. If you're joining us late, John Small has just received a black card for Dublin. They are 3 points down. Kerry won 6, Dublin 6 points. Tyg Morley here. Stephen O'Brien for Kerry. Inside now for David Clifford. Back to the brother Paddy. Sean O'Shea has it on the left boot. And Sean O'Shea scores. Kerry, again, very, very efficient. They've only hit one wide so far in the game. They are nailing everything that they put their mind to. And Sean O'Shea's left foot there looked as good as David Clifford's. I mean, lovely off the shoulder. Great timing. And just, yeah, perfect. If you're watching, get involved in the discussion. What do you make of the game so far? Who do you think is going to win from this position? I mean, it's been a very, very good start for Kerry. I absolutely think Dublin at this stage, like they do need to score a goal to beat Kerry, and Kerry haven't conceded a goal from play in 2022 apart from Darren McCurry's goal way back in the league game. They've been excellent at the back. Lee Gannon here, taking on Diarmuid O'Connor. Out as far as Tom Lahiff on the left side underneath the shade there in the Hogan stand. Lahiff being pushed back out by David Moore, and he goes all the way back to Dublin's half-back line. And that's what's happening with a lot of Dublin's attacks. Kerry are just stopping us, and we're turning around and going all the way back to the half-back line. I get it about ball retention and not losing it, not getting turned over, but do you have to go that far back? Like, it just means you have to completely start again. Owen Merchant here. Stood still. Kerry are happy to park off at the 45-metre line and not let Dublin inside there. Lorcan O'Dell switches it across to Lee Gannon, who has held the left-hand side. He's hugging that touchline. Similar position. Of course, he played left half-back for that Dublin under-20 team last year, won an All-Star in that position. He was excellent. I think that's a window into the thought process of Dessie Farrell having him there. Kieran Kilkenny on the ball now for Dublin. Dummies inside, tries to get it on the right foot, gives it back to James McCarthy. Back out as far as Tom Lahiff again. Kieran Kilkenny on the ball for Dublin, being fronted by Gavin White. Kerry are switching their man markers. 1 second it was Tom O'Sullivan on Kilkenny, then it was Jason Foley, now it's Gavin White. I think they're happy to kind of trust whoever to mark whoever. I don't think they really have a preference, which is mad. They trust the system. The system is what defends for them. Brian Howard on the ball now. Gives it out to the right-hand side for Johnny Cooper. He's moving around a lot as well. Cooper being fronted by Stephen O'Brien. And Cooper looks like he's in trouble here. Looks like he's running down a blind alley. Does well. Does very well. Back out to Brian Fenton. Jack Barry tagging him. Back to Lorcan O'Dell. This is a good place to shoot, lads. Lee Gannon. Lee Gannon turned over. Gavin White. Kerry trying to break quickly here. David Clifford to Paul Gainey. Lovely kick pass. Dublin have got back in time. Kerry can hit them for a counter attack here if really. Yeah, they've slowed them down. Paddy Clifford out to the wing here to the brother David Clifford, being fronted by Owen Merchant. David Clifford, easy as you like, onto the right boot. Hits the post! Down to Gavin White. That's a penalty. Foul by Lorcan O'Dell. And a penalty for Kerry. And again, hits the post, and just Kerry are quicker to react to the breaking ball. Definite penalty. Like, it's, as a Dublin fan, definite penalty. That hits the post. White is about to shoot, and he gets taken down. You can't argue with that. Lorcan O'Dell comes in from behind. Yeah, hits the arm as White is about to shoot. Maybe White exaggerates the contact, yes. But penalty. After is going on here between Paul Gainey and Brian Howard. Now, I wonder who Kerry will put taking this penalty. Evan Comerford is down. But, yeah, who knows what's going to happen here. If you're joining us, Kerry are just about to take a penalty. It was a foul on Gavin White. A shot by David Clifford hit the post, broke down. Gavin White then fell by Lorcan O'Dell. Penalty for Kerry. 1-7 to 6 points. 29 minutes gone. I mean, you could argue the fate of the game maybe decides on this, because if Kerry score this and go 7 points in front, before half time, I mean, that could really spell trouble for Dublin. I mean, really, really could. As it stands, it's a 4-point game. Who Kerry put on this penalty would be very interesting. It looks like Shawnee O'Shea is going towards the ball. Paul Gainey, David Clifford, they're all good options. I don't know. Anyway, if you're watching, get involved in the comments. What do you think about the game so far? Been one hell of a game. Mick Shield is warmed up. Michael Shield from St. Sylvester's. It looks like Evan Comerford genuinely is injured. To be fair to Michael Shield, he has played a lot of championship games so far. He has had a lot of minutes in the league. He won't be completely cold coming into this game. Now, where was the injury for Comerford? I think he looks like he's all right. So John Small, and that is ridiculous. Kevin McStay is making a point on it on the commentary there now on RTE about how ridiculous it is that the game has been stopped now for about 3 minutes, and John Small's sin bin time is just counting down. I mean, just speaking purely logically, like, that's such a stupid thing in the rule book that you just allow the clock to just tick down. That's what every team does, slows the game down as much as they can whenever one of their players is in the sin bin, just slows it down as much as they can just so they can get their player back on. It is Sean O'Shea who is going to take the penalty for Kerry, but yeah, that sin bin rule needs to be changed. Sean O'Shea of Kerry, centre forward. He's already scored 1 goal. He's up against Evan Comerford of Ballymun Kickham's. Sean O'Shea from Kenmare Shamrocks was amazing in the club championship. Amazing footballer. Here we go. 31 minutes. Could this decide the game? Sean O'Shea steps up. Saved! Saved by Comerford. And he saves the rebound. And it's a free out for kicking the ball on the ground. Wow. And it remains the same. And there's a scuffle after as well. Here we go. The Dublin player's right in Sean O'Shea's face. They're letting him know about it. That's not really nice to see, but it happens all the time. I mean, Tom O'Sullivan has been doing that all game for Kerry, getting in Costello's face, Kilkenny's face. Johnny Cooper right over to O'Shea. Merchant and Paul Gainey here. Brian Fenton pulling Paul Gainey away. Sean Bugler now going nose to nose with Paul Gainey. It was always going to happen. It adds to the drama. It stays 6 points to Dublin, 1-7 to Kerry. I mean, pretty much everyone in that half of the pitch was involved there. No fists, just a load of shoulders, a load of handbags, a load of pushes. Adds to the rivalry here. Here's the replay. Great save. The follow-up here. Great save by Comerford. It spilled out. It was there for O'Shea to hit it. It was there for O'Shea to hit it. Oh, and he kicked Comerford in the face. I don't think he meant it, but God, he certainly... Comerford was made to pay for that. Wow. What a moment here. And the little scuffle after. What drama. What did you make of that? If you're watching here, what do you make of that? Get involved in the comments. The referee here is having a discussion with his 2 linesmen. Still going on off the ball. It was a bad penalty by O'Shea. Like, I've seen him bang in penalties. That was nowhere near what he's capable of. John Small looks like he's about to come back on. And realistically, in terms of actual game time, John Small's missed about 5 minutes. Like, this whole black card for 10 minutes thing just doesn't happen. Okay, so Paddy Nealon, of course, the referee, talking with Comerford. What is he going to do about this? Wow. Is he going over to Sean O'Shea? Because it was a scuffle after. He is. No, he's calling over Paul Gainey, who, of course, as I said, was nose to nose with Sean Bugler, nose to nose with Owen Merchant. John Small is back on. Johnny Cooper and Lee Gannon are over with the referee as well. Owen Merchant now in with Gainey. It was the two of them that were involved in the scuffle there off the ball. Brian Fenton came in and separated them. What is he going to do here? A yellow card for either of them. And I mean, someone had to get booked for that. I mean, he could have literally picked anyone. He could have picked Sean Bugler. He could have picked David Clifford. He could have picked anyone. It was there. It was there to be hit. Didn't look great. But it didn't look great, but it was there to be hit. And I mean, if he hadn't hit it, like, you'd be saying, why didn't he go for it again? The rebound spilled out. Definitely unfortunate that I followed through, and the Dublin players had every right then to go up to him and say, what are you doing, kicking Comerford when he's on the ground? But anyway, this is going to be massive here. Can Dublin capitalise on this now? A momentum swinger. Potential goal for Kerry. Can Dublin turn it into a score for them instead? Brian Fenton to Lorcan O'Dell. Over as far as James Mccarthy. He's had a very good first half. McCarthy steers it off to the right-hand side. And now it's Lehif. Wide ball. No, it's a line ball. Not even a wide ball, line ball. He's getting it there from the Kerry lads. I mean, he was pretty much getting clotheslined as he kicked the ball. I mean, the conditions there, it looks like an absolute cauldron. I mean, it looks so hot there. Tyg Morley on the ball for Kerry now. David Moran switches the play now across to Tom O'Sullivan. Dublin are 4 points behind, though, and that's something that is concerning going into the second half. I know we're shooting down into the hill. I know we tend to do better in the second half, but I mean, we need to step up our game big time in the second half. There's 6 minutes of additional time. We're in the 36th minute of the game so far here. Paddy Clifford to David Moran. Dean Rock challenging him. David Moran switches the play across to number 25, Jack Barry. Jack Barry now running down a bit of a blind alley. Turns around. Dublin haven't bottled up. Should be a turnover for Dublin. Jack Barry keeps going. 3 men on him now. Lee Gannon, Lorcan O'Dell, and they do turn him over. Back as far as Evan Comerford. Taking it out way too far. Lucky. Very, very lucky Evan Comerford. He ran straight into Dermot O'Connor, who then fouled him when he didn't need to. Got away with that. Comerford switches it across to Brian Howard of Raheny. He's had an excellent first half. Dublin have played well. Kerry have played very well too. It's been a very good first half. Of course, Galway waiting in the final for the winners. Brian Fenton now for Dublin. Looking for an offload. Gives it to Cormac Costello. Tom O'Sullivan following him everywhere he goes. Costello hanging onto the ball. Back out to Sean Bugler of St. Oliver Plunkett's own Rua. To Kieran Kilkenny. Back to Bugler. Back out to the midfield now as far as Brian Howard. Dublin hanging onto the ball. A score before half-time would really, really do us the world of good. Owen Merchant running through here for Dublin. Off to James Mccarthy, the captain. Back to Merchant, the Nafina player. Into the corner as far as John Small from Ballymun Kickham's. Of course, his brother Paddy was named to start. Lorcan O'Dell came in for him. Cormac Costello. This is in the range. He doesn't shoot. He gives it to Lorcan O'Dell, who had the chance to, but didn't. Costello here will shoot on the right boot. Not good, though. Wide ball. Of course, Hawkeye not being used today after the farce that happened yesterday. 38 minutes. We have 3 minutes left of additional time. Shane Ryan's kickouts in the first half have been very good, and he's got that one away as well to Gavin White, taking on Brian Fenton. White has serious pace, serious engine on him. Stephen O'Brien, Dermot O'Connor, Jack Barry, to Stephen O'Brien again. Inside, that's a foul by Johnny Cooper on Paddy Clifford. Referee gives it. Paddy Clifford on the ball for Kerry. He's had a quiet enough first half. This man hasn't. David Clifford taking on Lee Gannon. Gets past him. Clifford onto the right and up and over the bar. David Clifford very, very rarely misses. And Kerry are 5 points in front of Dublin. And it's looking ominous now for Dublin if we can't turn it around here. And Paddy sending the ball into him, and Clifford just got it onto his right, up and over the bar. Of course, Kerry looking for their first championship victory over Dublin since way back in the quarterfinal in 2009. Since then, they've played each other, I believe, 5 times. Dublin have won each of the meetings. Of course, 2019 was a draw. That was a foul by David Clifford, and he's on a yellow card. No, sorry, that was the yellow card. Wow, I thought Clifford was about to get his marching orders there. It's been a bit of a weird first half because Dublin are 5 points down, but this is the worrying thing. I don't think we've necessarily played that bad. I don't see, how much better we can get. We need to threaten with goals in the second half. We really, really do. We need to penetrate more. Kieran Kilkenny has been very quiet. Cormac Costello has been very quiet. Dean Rock's been very quiet from play. They've been on the ball, but in terms of, actual posing a threat to Kerry, they've been very quiet. The best performers for Dublin have been around the middle. They've been James McCarthy. Brian Howard has been very good. Brian Fenton's been good. But in the final, front line, we're not, threatening Kerry for goals. That's partly how good the Kerry backs are. They've been excellent. Cormac Costello on the ball now for Dublin. Shimmy, fell, got back up. Goes back into the middle. Dean Rock trying to get there, never going to get there. Jack Barry cleans up. And Kerry run out in the last minute of the first half. The 6 minutes of additional time are up. Will the referee, Paddy Nealon, allow one more attack? He does. Paddy Clifford straight to Johnny Cooper. And that is half-time. Half-time here at Croke Park. Dublin 6 points, Kerry 8 points. And really, lots of talking points in that first half. Of course, the penalty, I do think it was a penalty. The black card for John Small. Half-time, Dublin 6 points, Kerry a goal and 8. If you're watching, what did you make of that first half? Get involved in the discussion. Do you think Dublin are going to come back from this? Do you think Kerry are going to kick on for home? Get your comments in. And yeah, I will get around to them as well. Love a good discussion, love a good debate. What can Dublin do really to improve on that? Because I think we have actually played all right. I think we have actually played okay. But Kerry are just really, really good. Kerry are just brilliant. And they do look like the finished article this year. Con O'Callaghan, of course, him not being there is really, really important. But yeah, I think very interesting. Second half will be live here on Play on GAA. My thoughts as the game goes on. And I'll see you then. I'm back. Just got a quick bit of water, but my God, what a first half. I mean, Kerry looking like the real deal in that first half. I mean, starting off Dublin got that opening point, of course, from Lee Gannon. Kerry equalised from David Clifford. No, sorry, it was Shawnee O'Shea swung it onto his left boot. And then Shawnee O'Shea getting that goal. That is a key moment. One little key moment there. Shawnee O'Shea, as I mentioned there on the live stream, my instant reaction, Sean O'Shea catches that ball. He looks like he's going to hand pass it back out to a Kerry forward who's behind him. And Owen Merchant, who was a Dublin defender, kind of sees him feint that hand pass and thinks, okay, Sean O'Shea is going to go that hand pass back. So Merchant actually goes and takes a step out, at which point Sean O'Shea notices the gap has opened up towards the goal to go for goal. He goes for it, buries it into the back of the net past Evan Comerford, and that was a perfect start for Kerry. Dublin respond well, get the next 2 points. Kerry respond well to that, get the next 3 points. Dublin come back again. I mean, some good frees from Dean Rock. He looked on it from frees anyway. He was very quiet from play. Then, of course, the penalty. The penalty could be a huge moment. Of course, it was a shot from David Clifford, who has been in very good form today. Clifford taking the shot, hits the post, breaks down in the space with Gavin White and Lorcan O'Dell. White reacts quickest, gets that catch under the breaking ball, fouled by O'Dell, penalty to Kerry. It was a long wait. Comerford was injured. Mick Shield looked like he was going to come on. They left Evan Comerford in goal, and there was a long wait for the penalty, and maybe that applied extra pressure to Shawnee O'Shea taking the penalty because he missed. Comerford guessed right. The ball spilled out. In my opinion, it was there to be hit. Sean O'Shea went for the rebound. He went hard at that rebound. He lashed it as hard as he could, followed through, and hit Evan Comerford in the face with his left foot. That kind of did allow, Kerry to, that allowed the Dublin players to, really go in and be like, what are you doing and all. Look, a few comments here from the GAA show podcast here. It's the David Clifford show. Yeah, he's been absolutely magnificent in that first half. He's a star. And over the last 2 years, he's just got better and better and better. And in this game, he's been excellent. And every time he shoots, he gets it on target. I mean, even the one that he missed hit the post and dropped right into the goal. So he's an excellent footballer. Kerry have completely built their team around him up front, as far as I'm concerned, him and Shawnee O'Shea, and it's paying dividends. Another comment here from GA Show Podcast. Comerford would want to cop himself on, acting like a child. For the initial penalty, I would agree with that. For the initial, when the penalty was given, I didn't see necessarily what had happened to him. Maybe in a replay, I can see what happened. After the penalty was taken, I would say he did get kicked in the face full force by Shawnee O'Shea. So I think that probably would be fair enough as to why he went down. The scuffle after and everything really adding to the drama here in Croke Park. It's been one hell of a game. The analysis here, Colin O'Rourke says he doesn't think it's a penalty. I mean, I don't. I disagree with Colin O'Rourke there. I think it absolutely is a penalty. I didn't see what necessarily happened to Comerford before the penalty was taken. Personally, I know that that's a tactic to let the pressure ramp up, and it was a poor penalty by O'Shea. Comerford, brilliant though. Brilliant double save from the penalty. And then the scuffle after. Sean O'Shea's jersey's going 15 different directions. Good old Dublin Kerry rivalry. All right, guys, I'm going to take a little break. I will be back for the second half. I cannot wait for it. I'll see you all then. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Play on GAA live stream. Watch along for the All-Ireland Football Semi-Final 2022. Of course, Kerry against Dublin here at halftime. The score is Dublin 6 points, Kerry a goal and 8. There's a couple of comments here that I'm going to get through. The Dubby Dubber here says, Dubs can come back. We just need to threaten for goals more. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that I'll say about Dublin's performance in this first half. We haven't threatened for goals at all. We've allowed Kerry to be the ones threatening for goals. They've got the penalty and then they've got the other goal chance. Us on the flip side, Shane Ryan hasn't had a save to make. We've really allowed him to have a very comfortable first half with his kickouts as well. We haven't really pushed up on him as well as I would like to see. So yeah, second half goals. We need goals from Cormac Costello. We need goals from Kieran Kilkenny. We need them to start threatening, start pushing the likes of Jason Foley and Tom O'Sullivan, start making them work harder than we did in that first half. Dubby Dubber also has another comment. And be tighter on David Clifford and free up Brian Fenton. Yeah, well, it's hard to free up Brian Fenton because Jack Barry is just on his toe. Wherever he goes, like wherever Brian Fenton goes, Jack Barry goes. And like we haven't managed to get him away. Like since 2019, really, the league, Jack Barry has just been on Brian Fenton for every game that Kerry have played against Dublin. And he's done a great job on him pretty much every time. Tighter on Clifford, yeah. David Clifford, it has been phenomenal in that first half. And yeah, no, like we need to start being tighter on him. Just eliminate the quality of the ball that is going into him because he has been, getting great ball in from the likes of Paddy Clifford, from the likes of Seanie O'Shea, etc. And when Sean O'Shea goes in as well, he's getting great ball into him. So we need to cut off the supply chain, stop this class ball going into the inside lads because they are unreal with crap ball. So the last thing we need is them getting first class quality ball going into them because then they will just do damage regardless of who is marking them. The stadium looks electric, like the fans and everything, like the Dubs fans there, they've got a camera there and the Dubs fans and the Kerry fans. It's great the way the fans can sit beside each other, stand beside each other, etc. Like we're blessed with the GA that we can do that. Unlike other sports, the GA's got it perfectly right. Like the Kerry fans and the Dublin fans are on the hill there together, just supporting their team, and it creates a real unique, amazing atmosphere in Croke Park. And this is going to be one hell of a second half. It'll be interesting to see if Dublin make any changes. Of course, Owen O'Donnell is on the bench, transferred over from the Hurlers. Wonder will he play any part in this game? Here comes the second half. Paddy Nealon about to throw the ball in. No changes in midfield. Jack Barry still on Brian Fenton. David Moran against Tom Lehiff. Jack Barry is already all over Brian Fenton. And up goes Moran. Lehiff flicks it down. Jack Barry wins the ball. Second half is underway. Dublin against Kerry. Live from Croke Park. This is the watch along here on Play on GAA. If you've just joined, you're very welcome. Get involved in the discussion whenever you feel like it, and I will read your comments and get in a debate with you. David Moran here. Flicking the ball forward as far as David Clifford. Quick inside ball. This is dangerous. That's another penalty, is it? Or did he pick it up off the ground? He picked it up off the ground. That is a terrible mistake by Stephen O'Brien. It's definitely a penalty if he didn't pick it off the ground. It's looking like it's rolling in some of the replays, but that is a ridiculous mistake to make at this level, to just pick it up off the ground. He's good enough there to chip that ball up. Dublin, massive let off. That could have been the end of the game right there and then. Shane Ryan here for Kerry. Jack Barry switches it across to centre-half back Tyg Morley, who has been magnificent in this game so far, and the championship, really. Jack Barry back as far as Bruno Bjugli, back to Shane Ryan. Shows and goes. Out past Dean Rock, Ethan Rafferty style. All the way out to midfield. Dermot O'Connor for Kerry. Number 9 on his back, but he's been playing pretty much anywhere from wing back to wing forward. Sean O'Shea for Kerry to Paddy Clifford. Inside as far as his brother David. Mick Fitzsimons still on him. Clifford looking to get it back onto the left. He does. He scores. He is unplayable. He just does not miss. He does not miss. Fitzsimons is one of the best defenders I've ever seen. He just shrugs him off, gets it back onto his left, and just puts it straight over the bar. And like when you are that good as Mick Fitzsimons is, and you still can't stop him, the best thing you can do is limit him to a certain amount of points a game. He's that good. James McCarthy on the ball now for Dublin. We need more out of Kieran Kilkenny, Dean Rock, Costello inside. We need more out of them because Kerry are getting it from David Clifford and Sean O'Shea. Free kick for Kerry here. David Moran on the ball. Back as far as wingback Brino Bjuglik. Of course, they're without Paul Murphy as well. He's not starting this game. Out as far as Tyg Morley. He's been excellent today. Morley down the line. Kerry looking to book their place in the All-Ireland final for the first time since 2019. Paul Gainey looking to cut inside. He has to go back to the end line and he gives it away. Mick Fitzsimons read it brilliantly. Out to Cormac Costello. No substitutes at half-time, by the way. Mick Fitzsimons for Dublin. Tom Lehiff. Back as far as Brian Howard here, who has been excellent for Dublin today. Dublin need a goal. We absolutely need a goal. There's no question about it. We will not win this game if we don't get a goal. Brian Fenton. A free kick for Dublin. This is Dean Rock territory. It's a difficult kick, though. It is a difficult kick for Dean Rock. He will back himself. I'd back him. He's as good a free kick taker as there is. Evan Comerford as well showed in the league game in Tralee that he can hit a sweet 45. So I wonder, would he be looking at it either? Rock has gone over. He's taken this one out of the hands. Paddy Small is in. He was listed to start. Now he comes in. I wonder, yeah, Lorcan O'Dell is the man taking off. Got on the ball a lot, Lorcan O'Dell. Of course, he's a very young lad, 21 years of age. Big star for Dublin in the future, without doubt. And he played well today. Dean Rock with this free kick now for Dublin. It's a difficult kick. No. Absolutely not. And the way he was... I'm sorry, but there's a way when he walked over to it so slowly. It was almost like he didn't really want it. Like, that's just my first impression. I could be completely wrong. But he usually sprints over to take the freeze. Shane Ryan here for Kerry. His kickouts, as I've said in the first half, they've been excellent today. How does he do with this one? Nope. Commentators cursed, and I'm glad I put it on him. Come on, the Dubs. Right out over the sideline from Shane Ryan. Sean Bugler goes direct. We need more of that. Kieran Kilkenny, it's run to Paddy Small. What can he do? Back out. Brian Fenton over the bar. We needed that. 5 points in it now. Double change for Kerry. Darren Moynihan, who was listed to start, comes in, as well as Killian Spillane. For Stephen O'Brien is going off, and Paul Gainey. Both men very quiet there that are being taken off. Gainey didn't score. Killian Spillane, of course, scored that goal in the All-Ireland final of 2019. He scored that goal, which, you know, shook my world for sure. I thought for a second that Dublin weren't going to win. We ended up winning, but David Byrne is coming in for Dublin from Nave Olaf. Former regular in the side. He's coming for Johnny Cooper. It'd be interesting to see now if David Byrne goes on to David Clifford, say, maybe a fresh pair of legs can do a better job on Clifford. Fitzsimons is doing okay on him. It's just Clifford is such an amazing player that's like, limit him to 5 points and it's a great day at the office. Graham O'Sullivan on the ball here for Kerry, the cornerback. He's got great pace. And he's won a very hard position when you consider Dylan Casey, Dan O'Donoghue. They all would have been after that position. Kerry coming forward here. Darren Moynihan fresh in off the bench. Paudie Clifford. James McCarthy on him. Dublin not wanting to exit at the semi-final stage for a second year in a row. Kerry looking to not exit at the semi-final stage either and make their first final since 2019. Last time they're in the semi-finals, of course, was last year. They lost after extra time to Tyrone. 2 goals from Conor McKenna. Jack Barry here. Back to Shawnee O'Shea. Kerry hanging on to the ball. Darren Moynihan. Killian Spillane. Kerry looking to get a shot away, and they've been very patient. Darren Moynihan on the spin. Nails it. Kerry are looking good. I can't lie. Kerry are looking damn good. I have to give credit where credit is due. That was a very, very patient, very well-worked move, and we just had no answer to it. But here, Paddy Small over the bar. There was a potential goal chance there for a second. He's made an impact, that's for sure. I think he should have started. I think he was listed to start. I think he should have. He's got a point there. I mean, he potentially could have carried on and went for goal. He didn't. He took the point. 5 points in it still. 44 minutes gone. Gavin White for Kerry. Darren Moynihan. Into the middle now as far as David Moran. Brino Biogli. Inside, lovely ball. Killian Spillane. Tom O'Sullivan. Up in the forwards again. David Clifford on the ball. Back out. Of course, Clifford played that amazing pass at the start of the second half, which nearly got Kerry in for another goal. Jack Barry here. Switches the play across as far as Darren Moynihan. Moynihan into the centre. And spilled by Jack Barry. James McCarthy wins it back. Dishes it off to Lee Gannon. Dublin counter-attacking here. Sean Bugler into the space. Dublin have got loads of space here. We have to make this count. Cormac Costello. What a goal! What a goal by Cormac Costello. We are right back in this game. What a finish by Costello. The Whitehall Column Kills man picked out the bottom corner from the edge of the penalty box. What a finish. Dublin made that counter-attack count. By God, we got a game on our hands now. What a finish by Costello. Let's talk before the game about how much of a goal threat he was. And he was kept quiet in the first half. But my God, what a finish. What a game we have on our hands now. Kerry down the other end. David Clifford with Mick Fitzsimons. Clifford. And he's missed. David Clifford is human. David Clifford has put it wide. A lot of momentum now behind Dublin. We need to make this count. Lee Gannon here. Out as far as Brian Howard. We need to make this count. Brian Howard's after injuring himself. He's pulled up. Lee Gannon switches the play all the way across to David Byrne. Freshman in from Nave Olaf. Former minor winning captain in 2012. David Byrne. Ball inside. We need a score here. Paddy Small taking on his man. Dean Rock. It's back out and it's over the bar and it's Kieran Kilkenny. His first point and it's a 1-point game out of nowhere. 46 minutes gone. Dublin have just woke up out of nowhere. And I have to say, when Kerry went 110 to 7 points up, I actually thought we were dead and buried. We are well alive and kicking here. Shane Ryan, short kick out. This is where we see what Kerry are made of. Shane Ryan here. It's been 13 years since they beat Dublin in the championship. Kerry will want that fact, it changed almost just as much as they'll want to win in All-Ireland for the first time since 2014. Shawnee O'Shea. Out as far as Graham O'Sullivan. Slices it in as far as Killian Spillane with David Byrne for company. Spillane loves it getting on his left foot. He's done it magnificently. And he has kicked a wide. And that looked a bit hard to tell. I mean, Hawkeye, that probably would have said it was wide. Who knows? And it probably was over the bar if it said it was wide. Whatever one. James Mccarthy for Dublin. He has been magnificent. Down the line. It's a foot race between Lehif and Jack Barry. And Lehif has won it. Jack Barry's all over him there. I mean, that's ridiculous. Lehif hasn't even picked up the ball yet. And Jack Barry's all over him. I mean, what is that? Dara Moynihan here for Kerry from Spa. Back as far as Gavin White from Dr. Croaks. Kerry had this game wrapped up not long ago. They were 6 points in front. Now they're 1 point in front. Dublin have pulled them back in a flash. David Moran for Kerry. Paddy Clifford now. From Fossa. Fisting it inside. And well played, Dublin. And Mick Fitzsimons. And there's some atmosphere in Croke Park now. Dublin come out again, denying Kerry again. 2 wides in a row for Kerry from David Clifford and Killian Spillane, adding to the momentum of the Dublin goal and point. Brian Fenton letting the referee know that's the 3rd time that he's been fouled just like that by Dermot O'Connor. And the referee, Paddy Nealon, is calling him over to talk to him. Now, if you're watching, put it in the comments. Who do you think is going to win this game now? Did you see that comeback coming? What the hell is going on with Kerry? That's the first goal that Kerry have conceded in this year's championship. And it came from nowhere. David Byrne to James McCarthy. Dublin have won 13 turnovers and Kerry have won 10. The momentum is all with the Dubs. Brian Howard here. I wonder as well, interesting debate, who do you think Galway would prefer to get? I was having this conversation with Luke there yesterday. He's at the game, lucky chap. He's at the game. I couldn't get there myself. Out as far as Sean Bugler to Lee Gannon. Looking to get it in on his right foot. What a score it would be to level here if Dublin can leave with one. Sean Bugler looked like he might shoot. He didn't. Lee Gannon. Back as far as Owen Merchant. David Byrne is screaming for it on the right-hand side. Brian Howard. Looked at it. 45 metres out Dublin are here. James McCarthy. That one last ball. Kieran Kilkenny. Bottled up. Manages to get it out, but to a Kerry man. And it's Jack Barry. And Kerry have held on to that 1 point lead quite well. They haven't let Dublin equalise. Dublin haven't led since the start of the game when Lee Gannon pointed. Paddy Clifford. Clifford. That's a huge point for Kerry by Paddy Clifford because Dublin were pushing for the equaliser and instead Kerry have gone back 2 points in front. That's a massive score for Kerry. .51 minutes gone. Kerry 1-11, Dublin 1-9. It's an epic of a game. If you're not watching it, get it up in front of you. It's an epic. Adrian Spillane, number 26, has just come in for David Moran. He didn't last the full 70 minutes. He had a very good 50 minutes, though. We're watching the replay here. What a goal by Cormac Costello. Right into the bottom corner. Into the side netting. That's an amazing goal by Costello. Like, that is genuinely an amazing goal to pick that out right into the bottom corner. What a goal by the Whitehall man. Evan Comerford here for Dublin. Of course, played with DCU. He played Sigerson, then with UCD as well. Out to Brian Fenton. Into the centre now as far as Owen Merchant. How they could do with another one of them goals that he got in 2019. David Byrne. As far as John Small. Dean Rock looked like it. Inside as far as Paddy Small. Bottled up. Spills out and Kerry are there for the breaks again. And key moments are going in the favour of Kerry here. It's a free in for Dublin. Adrian Spillane done for charging. Shoulder charge into the face, it looks like, from Adrian Spillane. He looks bewildered, and to be fair, it's a hard one to call. Yeah, on Lee Gannon. Put the shoulder up as Gannon was coming in. You see players getting away with it, though. Adrian Spillane yellow carded. Lee Gannon on the ball now, fresh off that clatter from Adrian Spillane. He's a tough fella. Back as far as David Byrne. He recycles it as well. Sean Bugler to Lee Gannon again. Getting on a lot of ball. Brian Howard. Back as far here as Kieran Kilkenny, carrying it a lot. Tom O'Sullivan sticking with him as always. Brian Fenton. Can he get it onto his left? He can. And he's missed. And these are huge moments for Dublin. We have to be scoring these. Dublin's 7th wide. Way more than Kerry. And it's not good. What a kick out by Shane Ryan. All the way down to Paddy Clifford, and Dublin now are exposed a bit here. Paddy Clifford. We're in trouble here. Adrian Spillane. Big. Referee lets it go. Dublin have turned it over. Sean Bugler. Fell by Shawnee O'Shea. Comerford's come all the way out of his goal. Let's see now, because Sean Bugler's holding his eye. And Comerford was raging. I don't know, is there a chance he did? I don't know. He doesn't seem like that type of bloke. But I wonder will it show a replay? No, I don't think he did. I think he just went for the tackle as usual. 1-2 by Brian Howard with Evan Comerford. Dublin player is down on the deck. I'm not sure who it is. I think it might be Owen Merchant. Inside now as far as Mick Fitzsimons. Dublin today, of course, playing in another All-Ireland semi-final. The last championship that Dublin did not make the All-Ireland semi-final was 2009. And who knocked them out? Kerry, which is also Kerry's last victory over Dublin. They've been an ever-present in the last 4, looking to get to the final again. Sean Bugler. Back here now as far as Lee Gannon. Firing it back to Brian Howard. Sean Bugler on his left. Howard goes to the right-hand side now for James Mccarthy. Faced up by Darren Moynihan. To John Small. Scored a lovely point off his left in the first half. And he's turned over this time. Adrian Spillane. Paddy Clifford. Fell. Sean Mcmahon is about to come in for Dublin, the Raheny man. Another one of the Raheny contingent. He's coming in now. on in place. And who's gone off here? He's going straight onto Killian Spillane. He's in for Owen Merchant, who picked up that knock, of course, a few minutes ago. He was the one down on the deck. Sean Mcmahon, of course, many years playing centre-back with the DCU Sigerson Cup teams. He's a great player. Long overdue a run in this Dublin team. Tom O'Sullivan for Kerry. Back as far as Jack Barry. And Kerry, what they've done really, really well is they've absolutely taken the sting out of the game. Dublin had all the momentum in the world a few minutes ago, and Kerry have just taken the sting out of it. And then that Paddy Clifford point, putting the gap back out to 2 points. They've played it really, really well. Dublin missed that window to get level. Loads of space on the right-hand side for Tadhg Morley here. David Clifford. David Byrne on him. Clifford to Adrian Spillane, to Killian Spillane, no relation. Back to Adrian. Kerry are owning the ball right now. Tadhg Morley on it again. Brino Bjoglik. Gavin White. Darren Moynihan. Tadhg Morley into the centre now as far as Jason Foley. It's tough to watch because Kerry are doing what Dublin did to a lot of teams back in the day, which is own the ball, take the sting out again, take the momentum out of it. Game management. Brino Bjoglik, loads of space down the left. He's running down the blind alley. He just about hangs onto the ball. Sean O'Shea on it now. He recycles it. Kerry have had the ball for at least about 3-4 minutes now. Just hanging on to it. Tadhg Morley. Every Dublin player is inside their half of the field. Jack Barry. The whistle's starting to come down now from the crowd. And Kerry won't mind this because Dublin are the ones that have to come out to them. Shane Ryan has come out of his goal. There is no one inside the Kerry 45. Shane Ryan playing dangerous. Remember the Derry goalkeeper Oran Lynch getting caught yesterday? Have to be careful when you play like that. Jason Foley back as far as Shane Ryan. 10 minutes left plus whatever added time. Brino Bjoglik for Kerry. They have really taken the sting out of this. Dublin need to get the ball back. If Kerry finish this with a score, it's going to be a massive boost for them. Gavin White inside. And Paddy Clifford and Gannon slipped. Paddy Clifford fisted over the bar. They had the ball for such a long time. And then all of a sudden it all opened up for them. Sorry, it was Brian Howard that slipped, not Lee Gannon. And Kerry now are 3 points in front of Dublin. Niall Scully is in for Brian Howard. Of course, Brian Howard fell there. Paul Murphy is coming in for Kerry. What a player he has now. What a player he is to bring on. He's gone straight on to Cormac Oslo. Graham O'Sullivan is taken off. So Murphy's gone straight on to Dublin's main threat, really, for goals in Conor O'Callaghan. Dublin haven't scored in 15 and a half minutes. Like, you can't go that long, especially after you get a goal and a point. Mick Fitzsimon's now on the ball. James McCarthy. And he's got it. James McCarthy's got it. And interestingly, that was high enough that they might have gone to Hawkeye if Hawkeye was in operation. He hit it really, really high. We needed that. Dublin needed that. 110 to Dublin, 112 to Kerry, 62 minutes gone. It's still there for us. And we've turned it over. Cormac Costello running at the Kerry defence. Inside. Kieran Kilkenny over the bar. 1 point between the teams. Who is going to join Galway in the final? And it's mad how all of a sudden Dublin just explode back into life. 1 point between the teams here. 63 minutes gone. And a scuffle here. Free out. Silly by Dublin. I mean, they were all over the Kerry lads right in front of the referee. And Kerry make a move. Out as far as Paul Murphy. Surprised he didn't get more minutes, to be honest. He's a class player. Paddy Clifford now. Switches the play, but he overhits it. Oh, and the Dublin lads jump into each other. And Jack Barry picks up the break to Gavin White now. Found space. This could have extra time written all over it. Paddy Clifford. David Clifford. Switches the play. Across to Tig Morley. Sean O'Shea steps inside, pushes Lee Gannon over. Surely, no. Sean O'Shea has not scored in the second half for Kerry, by the way. This is a mad statistic. Like, Dublin have held him so well. Lee Gannon shadowing him. He's been brilliant. Another one of the Whitehall contingent as we watch David Clifford miss. Put that one wide. Another one of the Whitehall contingent. Owen O'Donnell, of course, the former hurling captain. He's on the bench. Well, the hurling captain for this year. Gavin White is down. And he's really getting now attention here from the Kerry doctor. Nah, that's pulled up. He's gone. No way. He's coming back from this. Niall Scully for Dublin. Can they equalise? The noise in the stadium would be incredible if they do. Sean Mcmahon. John Small. Brian Fenton. James McCarthy for Dublin. John Small to Kieran Kilkenny. That is an ambitious shot. It's going to drop short. Shane Ryan catches brilliantly. Brilliant catch. I know that there was no real challenge on him, but still, to hold your nerve, excellent by Ryan. Five minutes left. Normal time. And whatever added time. Paddy Clifford back as far as Tig Morley here, being harassed and pursued by Tom Lahiff. And he has overcarried. And can Dublin move this quick now? Niall Scully. He's gone down as well. And Gavin White is like down. And Gavin White looks like he's going to come off. Tig Morley as well looks like he might be in trouble. Joe O'Connor is coming in place. I assume it's of Gavin White. Yeah. Gavin White looks in bits actually. And God, like, if Kerry get through this, I wonder will he actually be fit to play the final. He looks in a bad way. Our best wishes, of course. Best wishes to Gavin White. I hope he's okay. Dublin here now, restarting from the midfield. Sean Mcmahon driving through. Sean Mcmahon down a blind alley. Turned over. Line ball to Kerry. I think he should have shot, to be honest, because he got through the initial stage. He was clearly going down a blind alley. Take the shot. It was on your right foot. I think he could have got that. At least put it dead. Don't let Kerry turn you over. Kerry now attacking. 67 minutes gone. Just ticked. Paddy Clifford. Jogging like there's no rush. Lovely ball by Tom O'Sullivan. And this is Joe O'Connor. Drops it short to Evan Comerford. Big missed opportunity there for Kerry. That could have put the gap up to 2. Brian Fenton. Out to the wing to John Small. James McCarthy for Dublin. To John Small. Long ball by John Small. Dean Rock. Well played, Jason Foley. He did really well there. Kieran Kilkenny. Free out. Didn't really think there was a free there, to be honest. But Jason Foley there was fantastic. Did brilliantly because Dean Rock was coming out looking for that ball. 68 minutes gone. Kerry are 1 point in front, looking to beat Dublin for the first time since 2009 and book their place in the All-Ireland final for the first time since 2019. James McCarthy to Niall Scully. Kieran Kilkenny gets through. This is a chance for an equaliser. Paddy Small bottled up. Kieran Kilkenny on the right, over the bar. Kieran Kilkenny has equalised for Dublin. And you think about the minute ago that Joe O'Connor had that shot and he dropped it short when he really should have put it over the bar. Now Dublin are level. This is going to go down to the wire. And in my opinion, right now, obviously, it's just a heat of the moment. I think this has extra time written all over it. Players are going down with cramp left, right, and centre. Kilkenny's down. Jason Foley's down. What a game. That looks sore. Cormac Costello jumped up and hit Foley while he was in the air. That looks sore. 2 comments here. I'll read them now. Dennis O'Sullivan. Lovely day. Yeah, what a day for a game. What a day for a game of football. $112 to 112. What a game. And we are ticking now to 70 minutes. What is going to be added on? Will there be a winner in normal time or will this go to extra time? 5 minutes. There's enough time for a winner. In my opinion, next score the winner. And Kerry have the first attack. Joe O'Connor missed that key shot. He's got it to David Clifford. Right man. To Joe O'Connor. Back to Clifford. They close him down. Clifford switches the play to Darren Moynihan. Was listed to start but didn't. He'll want this on his right foot. Well defended by Brian Fenton. He knew that and he's stuck on the right boot. Darren Moynihan. Both sides will defend for their lives here. No fouls. And Dublin have turned it over. Cormac Costello turning over Killian Spillane. Brian Fenton on the ball for Dublin. And Cian Murphy from Thomas Davis is coming in wearing number 24. And he is replacing Michael Fitzsimons from Coola, who has done a great job. He's poured himself into the game. He's in his 30s now, Fitzsimons, marking a prime David Clifford. David Byrne has been yellow carded, not sure what for. Free to Dublin. Fenton gets it back off James McCarthy, who's ran himself into the ground. Gannon. And now Dublin come forward and it's Keane Murphy, the new man in from Thomas Davis. Kieran Kilkenny inside to Niall Scully. Dublin look like they might be about to work a shot at the goal. Niall Scully, it's high with the left foot. It's wide. It's a terrible shot to take on. Such a low percentage one. You can't blame him for having a go. 3 minutes left to go. Will there be a winner in normal time? Big, big credit to Dublin. How we fought back. How we've come back from the dead. We looked dead and buried at 110 to 7 points, 6 points down. Even when Kerry were 112 to 110 up with the quick burst, getting us level. Darren Moynihan for Kerry. Long direct ball in. The bounce over to Lee Gannon on Sean O'Shea. Goes down. And a free kick. I think Sean O'Shea bought it. Gannon did have the hand in around the shoulder. But Sean O'Shea bought it. And I think that's it. I really do. I think that's it. He's going to score. We'll change it anyway. Absolutely no chance he misses this. Up and over. Kerry back into the lead. And questionable, in my opinion, whether or not that was a foul. I think he knew the hand was coming and he bought it. It's well played, Sean O'Shea. But Dublin looking to equalise now. They have to. And you think about that Niall Scully shot. These are the moments. These are the moments where you win or lose. Great take by Paddy Small. He has the hand up. He's claimed the mark. Brilliantly done by Paddy Small. He did that all throughout 2020. And it kind of annoyed me because I was saying, free-flowing attack. But I love that mark. And they brought it in because of Kerry descent. Dublin are going to equalise. This game is going to extra time. My prediction 10 minutes ago was correct. Is Dean Rock going to take it? Yes, he is. And I mean, come on, Dino. This is right down your street. Dino over the bar. No problem to him. Will the referee blow up at 75 minutes on the button? Level for the third time today. Dublin haven't been in front since the first minute of the game. Shane Ryan's kick out. Goes short. O'Buglik foul by Cormac Costello. Foul. Free to Kerry. Jack Barry. Back as far as Jason Foley. It's been one hell of a game here at Croke Park. Paul Murphy. And David Clifford has won a free. Dublin definitely should not. Shane Ryan would be my pick to hit this. Or Sean O'Shea. David Clifford fell by David Byrne. Shane Ryan, the goalkeeper, as I said, he kicked one in the league. A boomer of a kick it was. But Shawnee O'Shea sends him back. And Shawnee O'Shea has the ball in hand. And he said, I am going to kick this. Simply put, it's tough to watch as a Dublin fan. It really, really is. But this will be the last kick of the game. 75 minutes, 50 seconds and counting. Sean O'Shea stands over the ball. He's outside the 45-metre line. He will have no problem with the distance. He's got a cannon of a leg on him. The Hill is trying to put him off. Shawnee O'Shea from Kenmare Shamrocks. All the practicing in that field in Kenmare. All the kicking. All leads to this. Shawnee O'Shea. It's high. The Hill goes silent because Shawnee O'Shea has nailed it. And Kerry are going to go through to the All-Ireland final. It's all over. Full time. Kerry 114, Dublin 113. Look, performance-wise, couldn't be prouder of the boys. I couldn't be prouder of them. I thought they were absolutely excellent. When you consider who Dublin don't have, the likes of Jack McCaffrey, Paul Mannion, and then Con O'Callaghan as well, we were fantastic today. The effort from the lads. Lee Gannon was magnificent. James McCarthy was amazing. Evan Comerford, brilliant. Brian Fenton, brilliant. Kieran Kilkenny stepped up majorly in the second half. Cormac Coslow's goal was amazing. Kerry have broke through. That foul on David Clifford at the end, you could argue, like the first foul, the first free that Sean O'Shea stuck over, in my opinion, not as clear-cut as it would have looked. But what a free by Sean O'Shea to win it. You can't argue with that. What a free kick. What a free by Sean O'Shea to win the game for Kerry. Dublin are out. Kerry are back in the final. Kerry win the first championship game against Dublin since 2009. That free by Sean O'Shea was excellent. The curl on it, everything perfect. And what a character Sean O'Shea is. I mean, when you consider that he missed that penalty, he would have had all the pressure on him. And he nailed that free. Can't argue with that. Keep an eye out. Full match reaction, full match review coming here on Play on GAA. That is the live stream over. Full time, Kerry 114, Dublin 113. I'm devastated, but I'm proud of the boys. Keep an eye out for all the match reviews. And until the next one, guys, here on Play on GAA, take care.